This week on TGC News, Stag Arms is for sale, IWI can't get past that sophomore slump, and I've been keeping secrets from you guys. The Gen 3 handguards from Midwest Industry are a slim, lightweight option for your AR-15. Available in 5 different lengths in both key mod and M-LOK, they come standard with 5 QD attachment points, as well as their patent-pending torque plate system. To get 10% off the Gen 3 M, K, ML, and KL rails, use the code TGC Gen 3, all caps, at MidwestIndustriesInc.com. Welcome back. My name is Jon Patton, and this is the last episode of TGC News in 2015. Before we get all sappy, let's get into some news. This week's first story is about Stag Arms. If you haven't heard of Stag Arms, you should probably see a doctor about your cranial rectal inversion. They make, or should I say made, good quality AR-15s and parts, and they got themselves into major hot water with the ATF recently. Long story short, they got caught with a whole bunch of unserialized and unregistered guns on the factory floor, including machine guns. I believe their original excuse was that the guy that serializes the guns was on vacation. Now that's seriously what they said. And they also claimed that the unserialized guns were for warranty replacements. And those nonsensical excuses were precisely why the ATF has revoked their license to manufacture firearms, and the owner, Mark Malkowski, has pled guilty to felony charges. Now, it's also important to mention that the ATF will allow them to continue to manufacture while they're trying to find a buyer for the company. So the ATF is being the ATF with their contradictory BS, but the long and short of it is that in the world of manufacturing firearms, there is no room for sloppy record keeping. I'm going to be really interested to see what happens with Stag Arms in the next few months. And in more ATF hate parade news, IWI has issued a recall for their Galil Ace pistols. Apparently there is a third pin in the receiver that the ATF has deemed to indicate a machine gun or easy to turn into a machine gun, so they have to get them all back and fix it. Yes, it is as dumb as it sounds. A recall over a pin in the receiver. Now, it's important to note that the Ace was actually initially delayed for importation, and that this may have been an oversight by the ATF, or someone at IWI screwed up. Either way, this is not going to help IWI. I mean, as far as I can tell, the only thing they make worth buying right now is the Tavor. Everything else is a whole lot of meh. So, if you have a Galil Ace pistol, contact your dealer immediately to get this squared away. Now, if you guys remember, last week I said that this week would be a little different. Well, even though I did have to cover a couple stories, I tried to keep them brief so we can have some time to reflect. I want to kind of do a year in review, even though we've only been on the air for about 6 months now. Stick with me. I've actually been keeping a couple secrets from you guys. First off, let me say a huge thank you to the companies that have supported the Gun Collective since the get-go. It was a big leap of faith for these companies that you see on the beginning and end of the show to support something that at the start was completely unproven and never attempted before in the firearms industry. For those of you guys out there watching that may not be part of the industry, when you click over to the websites I mentioned and use the discount codes, it really does help keep TGC News going in a huge way. I really seriously do appreciate that, guys. I can't say it enough. I want to take a minute and acknowledge the companies that have been super supportive. And guys, if you're unfamiliar with these companies, please go check them out. I'm going to put links in the description along with any relevant discount codes. So here we go. Huge thank you to RE Factor Tactical. They were actually the first company to get on board, which was freaking huge. I felt so good when those guys were like, yes, we're going to support this. And I know you guys love their stuff, so of course, go check them out. Also, big shout out to Savoy Leather, Kinetic Development Group, Hellbent Holsters, Automated Target Systems, Zero Bravo, Accutac, and Silencer Shop. And there's some that you guys haven't seen yet from Keybar, Nikon, and Airgun Depot. Yeah, I think we have a 50 cal air gun coming. The other big thing that I want to mention that I have not mentioned anywhere yet is that both Midwest Industries and Falkor Defense are going to be sponsoring the 2016 SHOT Show coverage from TGC News. I am super pumped that we got that happening. It's freaking awesome to be able to work with so many great companies, and I know next year is going to be bringing a ton more of that. Now, the other part of things that I wanted to recap is the massive growth that we've experienced this year. The TGC YouTube page went from zero people to nearly 13,000 subscribers. That's more than half of my old channel in 6 freaking months. I was also brought into the Full30.com family this year, and I actually got asked pretty early on in the game, and that was a huge step to be associated with such great content creators. So guys, if you haven't yet, please go over and check out Full30.com. The other thing that I have not mentioned is that the TGC Facebook page crossed over 100,000 fans the other day. 100,000 people. Holy freaking crap. Guys, it's unbelievable. And the entire reason that I'm telling you guys all this stuff is because I want to share the experience. I couldn't have done this without you guys. I want to be transparent and show you guys that yes, I do make a living doing this. And yes, I am brutally honest with every story that I bring every week. It is possible to do both. And yes, you guys really do matter to me. I couldn't do this without you. So to keep this moving, there's going to be new people and new shows coming to TGC in 2016, and I can't freaking wait to bring you guys along with me. Please do me a favor, go down in the description of this video or in the comment section if you're watching this on Facebook, and check out the links to the companies that I mentioned earlier in the video. So here's to a fantastic 2015 and an even better 2016. This week's friendly fire question is from my buddy Joel Townsend on the TGC Facebook page, and he asks, what are your thoughts on blast diverters like the new Surefire Warden? I think that's a solid question because it seems like everyone and their mother has some version of that for their muzzle brakes. I mean, I understand the reasoning for wanting one of these. Muzzle brakes can be abusively loud and can also kick up debris and other crap when you're shooting on the ground. I get it. However, it seems a bit counterintuitive to me. It seems like you're stifling the effectiveness of your brake. It's also important to mention that I have not actually tried any of these things, so I can't really confirm whether that's true or not. The other thing I find interesting is that this is another step into creating manufacturer ecosystems. Each manufacturer of suppressors has their own brakes. And now they have their own blast diffusers, and then of course cans. It's going to end up being like Apple, where people don't want to switch, even though the next gen isn't really that great, because they already are invested in the ecosystem. Either way, I'm not really sold on the concept of these things yet, and I need to get behind a few of them before I can really give details on the actual effectiveness. Side note, I freaking love it when I go on Facebook and Instagram and I ask you guys for questions for friendly fire, and I already get you guys out there helping each other, answering each other's questions, and just creating the community and watching it happen. It's freaking awesome, guys. My friendly fire question to you guys this week is, what was your favorite segment or part of TGC News this year? Feel free to go check out the old episodes if you need a little bit of a reminder. I'm not going to be mad at you. Let me know down in the comments, and if you want your question answered right here on the show, you can post that on facebook.com/theguncollective or post it on Instagram and Twitter using hashtag friendlyfire. The scarging handle from Kinetic Development Group offers an ergonomic way to manipulate your FN SCAR rifle. Able to be used on both sides of the gun as well as flipped upside down for a different angle of approach, this textured contoured handle is brand new from KDG. To get 10% off your entire order on kineticdg.com, use the code TGC10. And that's it for this week's show. Guys, do not forget you have 1 week left in the rifle photo contest. And if you enjoyed the episode, give it that old thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know down in the comments so we can talk about it. Do not forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss a single week of the show. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next year. The shirts worn in today's episode of TGC News were provided by Barrett Apparel. Click the link in the description to learn more.